is Power Up, and let's get powered up together. This is Trisha Hirschberger. My name's Maude Garrett. We have joined forces so that we could talk about all playing, watching, and reading. We're up to the reading component. Thank you so much if you're watching live, or if you're watching this in installments on the video on demand for Geek Bomb. Give that a subscribe. Head over to twitch.tv /Trisha Hirschberger. Give that a sub or a follow.
Hey,
let's all join this amazing community. But this is a guest episode. Every other week we get an amazing guest on so that they can share their power, and we are up to the reading portion of Alanah Pearce's trio for power. Let's get stuck into it. What you reading, girl?
Right now, I'm reading, well, honestly, a couple of things. I'm still reading the Wheel of Time series, which we've spoken about before. Six. Taking my sweet time on the middle of this one. Ooh, boy, it's really a slog, but I'm still there. I'm still getting through it occasionally. I'm also reading Save the Cat. For anyone who doesn't know, there are two versions, I believe. Maybe there are more. There is one version of Save the Cat that is for screenwriting and one version that is for writing novels. And it's basically a much more businessy look at how to execute on writing a screenplay or a novel. It's controversial. You know, a lot of people say, like, don't let this be the only thing that you read, but also just has a lot of tips from someone who's really experienced and has published a lot of screenplays, and B, a lot of quotes from other people who have also done so on really how to actually write something that would maybe actually be published, which isn't necessarily something I even have intention of doing. It's just an interesting look at that side of things. Yeah, it might be. We'll see.
Yeah,
but yeah.
Career change or a new career trajectory?
Hoping I can just do all of them at once. Now, I do have a plan to, by the time I turn 26, I want to have finished a book or a screenplay, and I've been writing them for ages just for fun, but no interest in publishing them. So it's like, I want to finish something by that time because I have a bunch of unfinished or half-finished things. But I've never really cared about other people reading it, which I know is weird, and I'm trying to get myself out of that headspace where I'm like, well, I wrote this for me. Why should anyone else have to read it? But that seems silly to not share it. So Save the Cat is definitely helping me with the idea that maybe I should try to publish something. But yeah, it's a super interesting read for anyone who has any interest in how to kind of get started, get a good foundation. Just don't let it be the only thing that you read. And the other one is I'm rereading The Batman Who Laughs, which is because I just got a Prime 1 statue of The Batman Who Laughs, which is like over $1,000 statue that I've had on pre-order for ages, and it just arrived this week. And I was like, I should reread that book. Sideshow? Yeah. Well, it's Prime 1, but shipped by Sideshow, yeah.
Oh,
so it is massive. It's huge. It's like it's enormous and very heavy. I haven't been able to unbox it yet.
Got it. I can't believe you got it.
Well, I collect, for anyone who doesn't know, specifically weird or creepy Batman statues. That's my thing. I have a lot of toys, but that is like the one thing that I have the largest collection of is weird, creepy Batman. And the Batman Who Laughs, while the character is not technically Batman, is a take on Batman. That's the point. He's basically supposed to be, I don't want to get into it too much. What I will say is just I highly recommend reading the comic. It's a lot of fun. I love every time that DC does multiverse stuff, like Flashpoint. I love all of that stuff. They do a really good job of giving you these like really quick kind of one-off runs with different spins on characters. You know, that means you don't have to get really invested and read 1,000 issues of something for a full arc with all these different characters. So definitely recommend checking it out. But the character is basically an alternate universe combination of, it's specifically Bruce Wayne and the Joker. So not necessarily actually Batman, but it's what would happen if you combine Joker and Bruce Wayne and put him in a different world. So
someone who wants to be a detective has millions and billions of dollars at their disposal, but is a little bit deranged?
Pretty much. Yeah, more or less. Dangerous. It's very dark. I believe the first appearance was in 2017, so it's not super old, but yeah, just a really fun read. The statue's so cool, so I wanted to get through it again, and the art's really a lot of interesting stuff they do with lighting, where I feel like a lot of sometimes the more popular modern comics can look very samey. DC's also been taking some risks there lately, especially, so very on board with that as well. It's really cool. Definitely recommend checking it out.
So I'm like so obsessed with the fact that you got that specific statue. I feel like the first time I ever saw it was at Comic-Con. It was the first year they had it on display at Comic-Con, and I swear I went back to the booth like 25 times just to look at it because it's so horrifically creepy and detailed.
It is, yeah.
What do I look up to find a picture of it?
Beautiful.
Probably the Batman Who Laughs statue. I can tell you how tall it is if I look up the size of it. I mean, all I know is the box is goddamn huge. The Batman Who Laughs statue. Yeah, it's massive. I've wanted it since the first time I saw it, which was
Well, it has a payment plan.
I think it's probably sold out.
Yeah, I want to live
Maybe it's not. It does say
you.
pre-orders are still there.
I didn't even look at how much it costs because I have no room in my house for it. Where are you going to put it?
I don't have room for it either, Trisha. We'll figure it out. Like the last statue I have is this Ronin Geralt, also from Sideshow.
Yeah.
And that one I didn't even find room for. So I'm like, where am I going to put this thing? And this thing is huge. So it's 33 inches tall, 18.7 inches wide. Its depth is 36 inches. It's massive. It's 88 pounds.
Wow.
It's huge. I think that I'm probably going to sit it on a floor somewhere. Usually I would have all of my statues, on a bookshelf, or I have a bunch of them on top of my kitchen cabinets. But this seems like the kind of statue that is cool enough to be sort of made like a centerpiece on a floor, like any other statue, like people who have actual real taste in art have their statues sitting on the floor or whatever. So I'm just going to have this one on the floor as a little centerpiece. It's insane. I'm very excited to open it. Have not done so yet.
It says
just reading the comic.
I'm still in metric and I will never move from that, but it says it goes from like
I don't know inches either.
to 55 kilos.
Yeah, dude, it's big. It's real big.
And it's like
real big.
84 centimeters high, which is nearly a meter off the ground. Far
Yep.
out. That's
it's
amazing.
like half the size of me, pretty much. It's huge.
But as someone who first, so did you say you were first drawn to the character Batman Who Laughs from the collectible, and that's what got you reading the comics, or were you already aware of who? Batman
No, I had
Who
read
Laughs
the
is?
comic first.
Okay.
I feel like I might have seen the statue for the first time at a Comic-Con as well. But I've just had this thing with this particular statue where I've encountered it multiple times, and every time I've been like, I must have you. So like I'll just stare at it for a long time and be like, my God, you're so beautiful. So I saw it in Japan. And same thing happened. I'm just in a toy store, just staring at the basically like pre-release version of the figure that they have, just like patting the glass, like, oh my God, it's so good. And then finally pulled the plug, pre-ordered it, finally arrived. Everyone will have it shipped. And it's funny, like I guess because I haven't published that I have it, because I just don't know really what to do with it or how to unbox it or anything. So it's just sitting in a box right now. I just don't know what to do. I guess people keep tagging me in pictures of other people who are getting it, and it's driving me nuts because they're like, have you seen this? This seems like a thing you would like. I'm like, yes, I just can't open mine yet. Just like, shut up. Stop showing it to me. Because I feel like when I do have it out of the box and displayed somewhere, I'm going to do the same thing where I'm just going to stare at it all the time and be like, damn, so good though. It's so pretty. Very creepy.
It's very creepy.
I always wondered what would happen if I dated a dude who wasn't a nerd and he went to my apartment. He'd be like, what the fuck is wrong with this bitch? Oh my God. What
if you're dating a guy who says that, break up with him.
I did that once. I dated a guy that asked me to please like put my toys in a closet or somewhere out of view because they were toys and we're adults. And needless to say, that relationship did not last very long.
Gross. Look at all this cool nerd shit you have behind you. Is that...
Oh, this is like 2% of it. I keep like, when you're talking about all these, I almost want to show you. Did you get any of the Project Triforce Batman collectibles, Alanah?
Hell yeah, dude.
Yeah, so I have a bunch of those up there, which again are like massive, and they're kind of up on a shelf in my closet. And like the Black Arrow is where the curtain rod would go above my dining room table. In my living room, the Weta Black Arrow replica. Like I just have huge collectible stuff all over my house. And fortunately, I married someone that was like, yeah, in addition to that, can we also get... And I was like, see, this is
that is my goal for if I own a house. Is just, most people have things that are nicely decorated. I just want mine to have nerd stuff everywhere. And I had to... This is like a little bit dark to bring up, but I had to write a will recently because I was just very sick last year. I was fainting a lot. And my mom was like, listen, I know this is messed up, but you're in America. I don't know what they're going to do with all your stuff. Write a will. So I wrote a line in there saying that my mom, whose home is basically decorated like an IKEA catalog, it's like very sparse and like color coordinated. I wrote a line being like, you have to prominently display the baby from the Death Stranding collector's edition somewhere in your home. And he was like, deal with that. It's in my will. You can't not do it or I'll haunt you forever. I thought it was funny to inconvenience her forever.
That is amazeballs. So you have the Death Stranding baby.
I do have Death Stranding baby, yes. Big fan. Got a lot of stuff. Not a lot of space.
creepy.
That's a lot. My husband and I literally just last night were talking about getting Weta's tree ant, which I'm trying to. I'll have to look up how tall it is. Have you seen it?
Oh, Weta tree ant.
Let me just look.
Is it like an actual tree beard or? Oh.
Yeah.
Tree beard is so dope. Look at him.
Oh, that's pretty.
Yeah, look how big it is, though. Look at the size of it.
Oh, I don't know.
If it's there's a Treebeard bust that's only 18 inches. That's not too bad.
No, the Masters Collection one.
Masters Collection one. Oh, I see. Oh my god, he's so cool. Oh my god, this is like 2,000.
That's double the price of the other one.
It's over 40 inches tall.
It is. That's so sick though. Oh my god. Hang on,
Wait, or you could buy a car. It's sold out, but yeah, my husband's like, so my birthday's coming up.
Rules. I vote you do it. I vote you do it. Like Maude's the angel on your shoulder. She's like, you could get something useful. No, tree beard.
It's so much money. It's so much money, but like maybe infinitely worth it. And then I could do something similar to what Alanah did and gift it to my mother, whose house is very prim and proper.
Mm-hmm. It's the ultimate troll.
It's perfect. That is very wise and sage advice, Alanah.
Thank you.
Yes.
There you have it. If you need comic recommendations and you like things a little bit twisted and weird, give Batman, what's it called again?
Batman Who Laughs.
Batman Who Laughs.
Oh, good-o. The Batman Who Laughs. Try that one out. Did that creep you out, Amy? Did that get you? Really?
Yeah.
Smile.
Well,
I have a very wide smile.
No. It's the eyes.
It is the eyes.
Definitely the eyes.
Okay, cool. I've got crazy eyes. Actually, someone commented that on every single video for about 2.5 years that it's like the hot crazy scale and that I'm like the craziest of them all. It's
right on the crux. That's where you want to be, man.
You can see in her eyes that she's crazy. And I'm like, that's just not fucking true, is it?
Go big or go home.
Anyway, on that note, let's do one last little bombs away and ask a couple of questions before we hit the road.
Yeah. Okay, so this one's from Bomberbacker Seb_X. This one's a little bit tricky, so feel free to answer how you'd like. What's the one property you loved in all three: playing, watching, and reading?
I think a lot of properties don't actually fit over a lot of the tiers because I love Zelda, but there has not been a movie. Even though there is, I think I've got a graphic novel box set. I think
I'm gonna go to Witcher.
The Witch is a great answer.
Oh, that is now playing, watching, and reading. Yeah.
I mean, or really, you can just say Lord of the Rings because Shadow of War and Shadow of Mordor were fantastic.
Such a good game.
Really good too. I'm gonna say Batman because like Batman Arkham Asylum is one of my favorite games ever. Batman comics are my favorite comics ever. Dark Knight is one of my favorite movies ever. So it's like it's not that they're just like things that I like across the board. It's things that I adore across the board. I have a Batman tattoo. I'm a bit of a fan, so I'm gonna say Batman.
You like the Batman.
I like the Batman.
All right, Star Wars movies, the original trilogy, fantastic. Knights of the Old Republic is one of my favorite games of all time, and I have delved into books and comics from there. And if I had to shout out one, it would be Lost Stars by Claudia Gray, which is an amazing novel that is canon.
Awesome. And this next question is from Twitch viewer Hero170. What is your favorite literary genre?
Fantasy.
Fantasy.
1, 2, 3, 4. Fantasy.
Done.
Yep.
That was easy.
Yep.
I actually want to one-up that question. What genre have you not really gotten into but you're interested in and want to try more of?
I'd like to read more Lovecraftian stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Not even necessarily from Lovecraft himself, but just Lovecraftian, because I do really like the concept of like one of his core themes being something that is knowledge, that having the knowledge of the thing, just the pure understanding of it drives you insane slowly. I think that's a really cool concept. So I'd read more of that.
Yeah. I'm seeing a theme here, but yeah. What about you, Trish?
Yeah, that's a great answer. What would I like to read more of? Maybe more nonfiction. I read a lot of fiction and I love it and it's awesome. But yeah, maybe learning a little bit more about history. Maybe a good, based on reality, historical drama would be good for my reading.
Mm-hmm. I've got like 5 nonfiction books that I should read, but I'm the same. I really struggle with nonfiction. I wouldn't mind getting into more thriller. Like, I hear Rachel Hine on Nerdist talk about, like, all of this gothic noir kind of literature. And I was like, man, that sounds sick. So, one day.
Pick up Lock and Key.
I still have... What was that?
I said pick up Lock and Key. You want to get more into thriller?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, good point. But, you know, I've got 13 books of Wheel of Time, and I've still got, like, 17 books of all the other series, because fantasy writers can't write one book.
Real slow, too. They take a long time. They drag them out. A lot of words.
Dude, I'm reading Dune at the moment. Oh,
everyone's reading Dune at the moment.
Right, I was just going to say that.
Because there's series coming out, right?
Yeah, there's a new movie, and I think they're going to drop a trailer soon-ish. And they just released the new look and the new edition, and it is pretty nice. Pretty. Look at that.
Ooh.
That's really nice. Look at those blue pages. I'm into it.
Yeah.
Matches your headphones. Very nice.
Yay.
And your nails, I think. You have blue nails as well.
Oh, I've got neutral colors on at the moment. Stick-on nails have saved my lockdown.
I was just going to say, Maude, I have naked nails. How do you have nails right now?
Too.
You just stick them on, guys. CVS, Impress Nails. You're welcome. You can't have an all podcast without one beauty recommendation, at least. Thank you so much for joining us and sharing not only your reading, but also your playing and your watching that you're currently doing in lockdown at the moment. If people want to learn more about you, discover you, or get more obsessed with you, where can people find you?
A, thank you for having me. It was a great time. I appreciate it. B is my handle on everything is at Charizard, which nobody knows how to spell. Don't worry about it. It's my name in the middle of Charizard, if that helps. If not, it's fine. It's whatever. Figure it out.
Remember when you were going to change it? Because you're like, oh, I'm starting to learn that it's really, really hard. And you're like,
yeah,
I've
had it for too long. And it's also, you know, I studied marketing as part of my degree, and people... one of the things that was like very ingrained in my head is that it's a very recognizable text. If you see the text of my name, you know exactly what it is without having to read the whole thing, which they always say is like a very efficient form of digital marketing. So it's very handy to have because most people aren't going to need to say it out loud.
Ah, cool. Charging them. Yeah.
That's me.
Well, thank you so much for joining us. This has been so very fun, Alanah.
Yeah, I had a good time.
Glad to hear it. Guys, make sure you do subscribe to Geek Bomb, and make sure if you are on Twitch right now, give it a follow or a sub. Really do appreciate that. And if you do feel like supporting the show, patreon.com/geekbomb, because we've got some fun and exciting things happening over there too. Trisha, thank you for joining me this week and getting involved with Power as always. And thank you for giving us your platform Twitch and all your beautiful Dragon Riders.
And thank you for hanging out with me for this beautiful hour and some change, Maude, Garrett. It's always a pleasure.
Ah, shush you. We'll be back next week where it's going to be just Trisha and I doing our Power and updating you from what it was 2 weeks ago. And hopefully we've got some more amazing recommendations to make. Until then, thank you so much for joining us.